Ah, legends. Just the mere sound of that word excavates salt from the depths of the earth from any gamer. League of Legends, Apex Legends, Destiny with their slogan of Become Legend. I am Legend. Okay, maybe that isn't a game, but it has Legend in the name. But for Warhammer players, just it being uttered makes us fear for our tiny plastic toy soldiers. Hello everyone, it's me, the Warhammer complainy guy, Revan/Handy, destroyer of wallets, maker of terrible financial decisions, back with another video. Also, let's go! 6,000 YouTube subscribers. The vote for the end of the year has now been upgraded, and for the love of God, there better not be another price increase at the end of the year. So I would really appreciate it if you could please subscribe to my channel and maybe also like the video too. Anyways, so today I figured it's finally time to talk about the Voldemort of Warhammer, the word which shall not be named, even though I've said it multiple times already. That's right, today I'm gonna talk about Warhammer Legends. As some of you know, I have a metric fuck ton of Legends models, which I will now go over. So I have two Tyberos the Red Wakes, the OG Forge World model, and my kit bash that totally didn't take me over 60 hours to complete and paint, and I'm totally not salty that all my hard work can no longer be used on the tabletop because he has been demoted to a Captain and Terminator armor, and he can't even take Lightning Claws because reasons, so then it's not really Tyberos anymore, but nah, I'm not that salty. But after those two, I have 3 Relic Contemptor Dreadnoughts, 2 Dark Angels, 1 basic plastic bitch. Used to be 4 Contemptors, but thank God I sold it before the launch of 10th edition. Oh yeah, I also had a Tomb Stalker and Tomb Sentinel, and I also sold that before they got Legends. Okay, back on the complaint train, 3 Relic Leviathan Dreadnoughts, 2 Dark Angels, and 1 basic Resin bitch. 1 is unassembled, and that's going to be my eventual Chaplain Leviathan kit bash if I could just find a goddamn skull helmet that is the right size. And I can hear some of you saying, then why don't you just 3D print it? Well, I can't because I don't exactly have a space to put a 3D printer. I also have a Darodeo Dreadnought, an OG Chaplain Dreadnought, a Man of Iron, Damocles Command Rhino, Land Raider Excelsior, Land Raider Spartan, Storm Eagle, and a bunch of knights that I can feel in my bones are probably going to be Legends for their codex, because GW keeps taking everything from me that I hold dear. But yeah, that's all the stuff I have that's been turned into shelf queens for the rest of their days, besides maybe the Dorito Dreadnought, because I can use it as a Ballistus Dreadnought, and before you say go play Horus Heresy, nobody I know near me plays it, so there goes that plan. So I somewhat understand GW's reasoning behind Legendsing. I somewhat understand GW's reasoning behind throwing the really old models into Legends because they're kinda goofy compared to their newer stuff. But that goofy old stuff is where the charm of Warhammer lies. Also, I would love it if someone from GW can explain to me why the fuck is the OG Dreadnought been retired when that thing is literally what most of us think of when someone says Space Marine Dreadnought. I know we still have the Venerable Dreadnought for now, but the OG box knot is so iconic, we literally see it everywhere in all forms of Warhammer media. Probably until Space Marine 2 if I'm gonna be honest. Also, I'm totally not salty that I never got one of those either. I know this also greatly pisses off a lot of veteran players that have been in Warhammer longer than I have. And fuck you guys, I'm not that old. Just because I'm a skeleton and have the hobbies of an old man doesn't mean I am one. But there are so many players from before the time of Primaris and those around the start of the time of the Primaris Marines that have a ton of Firstborn Marines, and I can imagine the rage and anger they feel of seeing all their money and hard work they spent on their armies flushed down the drain because GW is slowly phasing out the Firstborn Marines. And I'm also sure the old world players are especially livid with its return. This also kind of plays into GW's greed of pleasing the shareholders and making as much money as possible because my 30% profit margin. So getting everyone every few years to invest in a new army or be forced to replace their old units because hey, yeah, sorry we're throwing this into Legends, but you can still buy this new model that does the exact same thing as what we retired for around 4 times the price of what you paid for your old model. But at the same time, I kind of understand why GW Legends did a ton of Space Marine stuff. Yeah, there's kind of a lot of Space Marine stuff. I don't, however, understand why they were so scummy with the introduction of the plastic Horus Heresy vehicles and Relic Dreadnoughts, because they literally advertised them as being usable in Warhammer 40k too. And let's just let the record show that I already had a ton of my Legends stuff before 10th edition even started. Okay guys, this is the part of the video where I get some audience interaction to help boost it to the almighty YouTube algorithm. And also maybe drop a like and subscribe please, because I really want to see how far I can take this post of a channel. But please let me know in the comments down below, how long have the dreadnoughts and other Horus Heresy vehicles that were advertised as usable in 40k been rotting on the shelves at your local game store? Because I know the ones at mine have been there for ages, just like the Cursed City box. So advertising something is usable in both game systems and then just saying no, you can't use that anymore because we say it's too hard to balance these models, when really it isn't. It's kind of dishonest in my opinion. Because remember how I said earlier I plan on using my Dorito Dreadnought as my Ballistus Dreadnought? Well, please do tell me how the fuck they couldn't have just given it the same stat block since it can use the same weapons. Well, not exactly the same weapons. The Dorito Dreadnought can use las cannons and missiles, so it's kind of the same Dreadnought but just a different chassis. And also it doesn't make the pilot go insane. Also, Chaos players, don't think I forgot about you.
It's gone.
You guys got royally fucked over by the Great Legends Purge of 10th edition. All the Relic Dreadnoughts,
Gone.
Catan Demon Engine,
Gone.
Brass Scorpion,
Gone.
Dreadclaw Drop Pod,
Gone.
along with many others I can't think of because...
It's gone.
But what did you get to fill that gap that some of those units left? A great big fucking nothing. Also, I know that Orcs recently got taken out behind the shed too. GW throwing stuff into Legends and having no good alternative is just incredibly stupid in my opinion. Because when you create such a huge power vacuum with nothing to fill it, the alternative choices you can take are very little if none. I also know they have a production schedule, but replacing those models can take years or even multiple editions to replace, since they usually have things planned 3 years in advance. Which also has me fearful for my Knights and Custodes. Now, I can also hear some of you saying, well, Knights and Custodes have a small range. There's no way GW would do that. Again, look at what happened to the Relic Dreadnoughts. We were allowed to use them in 40k when they came to plastic, and now we can't. And guess what the latest model they said could do this is? It's everyone's favorite Cerastus Knight, the Lancer, which is unfortunately packaged as a Horus Heresy Knight, so if it isn't in the Knights Codex, we're kinda screwed. Now for Custodes, I can see a few things unfortunately getting thrown into Legends, like the Aquilin Terminators, the Dropship and Gunship unfortunately, the Palace Grab Attack, Coronis Grab Carrier, Falcon Jet Bike, and maybe the Venetari. Gabagoo. Aside from the Venetari, Gabagoo, I can see all those models I mentioned getting relegated to Legends, because as of right now, they're just a better option than jet bikes. I do see some people use Aquilins, and by that I mean me, because they're the cooler Terminators. The large flyers are just that, large flyers, and are grossly overcosted for what they do. And unfortunately, the Palace Grab Attack and Coronis Grab Carrier are just slightly better jet bikes and a worse Land Raider. The Grab Tanks and Dreadnoughts I really hope are safe, because the Telemon is literally just a Custodes Redemptor, the Achilles and Galatus Dreadnought are just Custodian Guard but tankier, and the Grab Tanks are the Custodes' only reliable anti-tank units. But honestly, I can see most of the Custodes units not getting thrown into Legends because we only have 9 plastic kits in the range. And the rest, of course, is Forge World. I feel like GW really needs to tone it down with throwing stuff into Legends willy-nilly, and the Space Marine stuff, well, yeah. While the other stuff, not so much, especially if they don't have a replacement ready to go in a decent amount of time. And I do understand that some of the models are old and goofy, but it's that goofy old charm that a lot of us have come to associate with Warhammer. So if you think some of your models are on the chopping block, even if they're not that great or competitive, use them in a list before their eternal duty is sitting on the display shelf. As always, thank you once again for watching this video. Don't forget, if you want to support the channel, simply leaving a comment and hitting the like and subscribe button helps more than you think. And also maybe join my Discord server too, so I can see all your cool miniatures. But becoming a channel member also helps too, since it allows me to make up bullshit excuses to my parents about why I totally need a Galatus Dreadnought. And I swear to the God Emperor, GW better not throw it into Legends. Anyways, I have to go make more terrible financial decisions, so I'll see you all in the next video, and remember, being poor is a choice.